Morning, team. All right. Looking at a long on Germany 40 right now. 42 pip stop.
Hello?
Yo. How you doing, man? Hello? Okay. So we're live on Germany 40. Just talk you through my kind of thought process behind that. So obviously, quite bullish overall. Let's just update our chart. Let's do the whole chart. So yesterday bearish. That's today's move, yeah. So yesterday,
You hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you the first time as well.
I just can't hear anything through the laptop, not too sure why.
Oh really? It'll be something to do with Discord settings, I'm sure.
Just downloaded the Discord app on the laptop and it didn't work, so I'll have to look into it.
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, so look, overall pretty bearish. Few days. Obviously today is Thursday, so we could be looking at some long from here, or at least short term anyway. When I'm looking at what I want to do with this marketplace, just update all these. So I've hit my EPA, which is that level there. This price range as a whole, so that's the 4-hour range. This is the whole price leg. This is now efficient, so we've got no reason, unless it wants more liquidity, we've got no reason to come down. The way I look at this is, if you look at where people are going to be entering, so you look at kind of the classic structures like this and like that and like that. Okay, those are your classic structures. We've got kind of 2 or 3 key areas where there's going to be liquidity. So You've got this area here, of course. You've got this structural point here. You've got this, which is the break-even area, and you've got this area here. So looking at the marketplace from a liquidity perspective, anybody who's entered here, the likelihood is that their stops are going to be moved by now. And now you're pushing higher and higher and higher. People trading their stops, hopefully they're going to be moving these up to here. So I see a lot of the sell side liquidity. I don't imagine there's many people with stops and orders down here at the moment. So on the basis that we've matched that, we've also internally taken out this liquidity as well. So we now have a build up of liquidity. So if you look at the market here, we look at the market here, and we look at the market here. Okay, same principle applies. You look at the liquidity of the marketplace, and people that have entered here, they would move their stops to here. Their EVA levels are here. So, likelihood is that there's a lot of liquidity now sat in these levels. That daily level from the previous day, there's going to be a lot of liquidity sat there as well. So we can hopefully get an initial push up to these higher levels, and if we can get some structural changes on this, I'll be adding into this position. But overall on the DAX, I'm quite bullish ultimately. I would like a deeper pullback into these lower areas, but I in terms of where the liquidity sat, I don't believe there's going to be a huge amount down there anymore. I think a lot of it will have moved up, and it will now be sitting along this, this trend line there. I think that's where the liquidity that needs to be taken. Obviously, London session's just opened as well, so hopefully you can get a bit of a push. And yeah, let's see where we go from there. We've still got the news trap as well, which there will be liquidity. And to be fair, that trap's probably dead now anyway. In terms of our daily open, because that would be certainly an area we'd like to get back to. Yeah, we're quite close to it, aren't we? 555 there. It's 5 AM. Let's pop that on. Yeah, so we're coming from underneath the daily open as well. So it's all looking good for a long. Certainly, at least if we can get up to the Asia high, that'd be my next kind of key point liquidity that I could look at a short from. And we may get a short setup there, but ultimately I'll be holding this now and see if we can break that convincingly and going higher. Right, let's jump on and do our major pairs. Chart's looking a little bit messy at the moment, but let's just jump on, do our major pairs and see where we're getting to. So let's set a recording. Right, so weekly, obviously very, very bullish on the dollar right now. Looking like, it's not really worth arguing that or fighting that. However, oh, hang on. Is that today's? Oh, no, this week's. Oh, sorry. However, we are coming into some weekly levels up here. And so we've taken that weekly level. And we've just taken this weekly level as well. So we're in an area where a reversal could be likely. I'm not a huge fan of a reversal on Thursday. I feel like the momentum of the marketplace has kind of been set for now. What I'm looking for, the dead weekly. Let's mark that on. And another dead weekly here. So we've taken out a lot of weekly liquidity last couple of days, or last couple of days. So that is definitely worth factoring into our analysis. Dead weekly. For our range, we are, look, I think if there is an area where we would be looking to go short from, this would be it. If we can get that set up today, hopefully during London, that could give us a really nice position out. That being said, have we had our low of the week? No, we haven't. So if this was to continue higher now, and this is the thing to understand, if price was to continue higher now, it would mean that we're going to go in one direction for the entire week. I just don't believe that to be the case. Monday started here. We've been bullish Monday, bullish Tuesday, bullish Wednesday. I would be surprised if we didn't get some kind of pullback. But look, the market's there to surprise us at the end of the day, isn't it? Let's just clear these out. Let's get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that. And we'll put our 1 minute open on, which is, yeah, 501.555. This is why I look at the 5 a.m. So the New York Open, obviously a lot of the markets revolve around the New York markets. The reason why I'm looking at the New York Open, see that little confusion of price here, where the candle kind of crosses over each other? That's an influx of liquidity, which is why we use it as a liquidity level. Previously, I used to use the midnight open, which is here. So the midnight open, you get a gap there, and that's definitely again an area of sensitivity. But I quite like using the New York Open. I think it gives us a really nice sensitive spot. And really, I'm just looking this for confluence. Really, I'm looking to sell above it and to buy below it. That's kind of how I'm using it. It's also an area where I could see price potentially navigating back to, and there's various ways to use it. Yeah, I do like the idea of a short from here. We're so high up, we've had no kind of major, so that was Monday. We didn't take any liquidity on Monday. We haven't really taken any liquidity this week, apart from yesterday we took the New York low. And then we just kept on climbing, haven't we? So yeah, I would love a reversal out of here. If we can get a nice reversal pattern, we've got so much liquidity now built up. If you think about, again, let's do the same process. Think about where the liquidity sat. All of these people now, if they've been buying from here, stops, they get moved, don't they? So you got to stop here, stop here, stop here, stop here for argument's sake. Let's say those are our 4 entry points. Okay, these people then move up, and both of these people. Where's my chart on? And both of these people move up, yeah. And then both of these people move up. And so, it fills up that liquidity. That's why often these trend lines can be really, really sensitive. So that's kind of where I'm looking in terms of liquidity now. I'm looking for, some sort of trigger to come and pull back down. And I would hazard a guess that a lot of the people that had got in, lower, they've probably moved up their stops by now. It's unlikely you're going to keep your stop down here. So there's going to be a big old pocket of liquidity there that ultimately needs to be taken. So let's have a look and see what sort of steps potentially we've got. So let's talk through this trade yesterday. So Sam, if you're still there, we were looking at this yesterday, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I think it's a really good example of kind of how we should be utilizing liquidity. So it was kind of difficult yesterday, but in hindsight, it's an easy trade, isn't it? You look at it now, it's like, it's so clear, it's so obvious. The thing we've got to look for is reversals. They take a lot more money, right? They take a lot more money to send the market the other way. And normally, in order to fuel that, you need a build of liquidity. So if you are this sort of pattern, okay, down here is a big old pot of liquidity, okay, because, and it's the same theory, right? People buy here on the lower time frame, and they buy here when that level's broken, and they buy here when that level's broken, okay, and it builds up this pocket of liquidity down here. Okay, that pocket of liquidity gets built up. So what we have to wait for, in these moments, is we have to wait for some sweep of liquidity, whether that is the this low, whether that is the extreme low. but that build of liquidity is what's going to fuel that move higher, okay? Because in order for it to change direction, it has to have that momentum. So if we were to take it long, the first time we could have considered a long would have been that low there. That's ultimately where we could have considered it. We're looking at 4 o'clock in the afternoon there. We're obviously not really fussed about trading that just yet. So ultimately, what we've got to look at before we had that manipulation move, we've got to look at the fact that our build-up liquidity is both sell side and buy side, and we're in this 15-minute range. So we've got key significant areas that we want swept. So we either want, we don't really want the internal liquidity swept because it's a bit naff. You know, internal liquidity, if you look at people taking trades, okay, there's probably not going to be a huge amount of people buying here. There's probably not going to be a huge amount of people buying here, simply because there's no new structure being printed. You've got that kind of that first breaker structure up here, but there's no real kind of major structure being printed. So when you get this move like this, okay, what it's doing is it's pulling back into a premium level and it's taking out liquidity, and then the reaction to that liquidity sweep is what signifies us to get into the move. So, you know, ultimately it was just a simple entry yesterday. I was in this, but I think I came out when it pushed higher again, because I too was kind of second guessing it. I wasn't sure, you know, probably guilty of, you know, looking at other people's charts as well, the people looking at it long, and I was kind of stuck in the middle of the bias. But actually, when you zoom out and you really pay attention to the liquidity pools and where they're sat, the most logical trade was the sell, because we hadn't had any reason to go long. That didn't do anything, and it didn't create anything. And in fact, all that this move did, this move here, is it just created a trap. It created the classic smart money trap, where people were selling early and expecting to go long. They get a little bit profitable here, and then the market comes back and screws them. So yeah, it was a tricky pattern when it looked like this. It was tricky to know 100% what to do. But in fact, if we'd all just waited for that liquidity sweep, then we'd have been in a much better position, I think. So let's draw on our daily open. Daily. 4, 5, 5, 5. Okay, cool. Again, you'll always notice with the 5 AM open is that you get like this crossover. So if you look at the candles, look, you get like that crossover. You get that little kind of that messy bit there, and that's one of the reasons why it's like an influx of liquidity. I actually think this is all right for a long right now. At least up to the top of Asia. It's whether or not I want to be taking out liquidity here. We've got to the left. We're in our premium zone. Or do I just want to wait for the short? See, this is a little bit different to yesterday, because we've had a significant move. See that move there? That to me looks like a liquidity sweep. And we've taken out all the relevant liquidity. See, yesterday's was higher, right? So you had liquidity sat below here. Today's is lower, so we've actually taken that external liquidity. We've taken that liquidity there already. I think we could be right for a long here.
There's also a daily low.
Below the daily low as well. Yeah, I'm going to get in on that. Let's see if we can catch something back off that. Because I still don't believe we're just going to push bearish all week. I can't see it. Right, 8 pip stop. Let's get involved with that.
If you look at GU as well, it's reacting out of a weekly fair value gap.
Yeah, and we got divergence. Divergence. Yeah, this is a good trade, I think. Where's my chart? 8 pip stop. Oh yeah. Euro USD chart 60. Let's go. Right, I'm in. 10265. 10265. Okay, cool. Right, I'm in on that. That's me done for the morning, pretty much. So I will definitely be taking some profit off at maybe not the Asia high, probably that high above Asia. Simply because that's the range liquidity. Sorry, that's the external liquidity of the range. External liquidity here. So I'll definitely be taking some liquidity off there. Liquidity taken. And then possibly could get a push higher. So yeah, and yeah, we've taken a weekly on the daily as well. Let's place an alert below there, which will signal us to get into more trades. But this is moving quite nicely. GU, I'm not as big of a fan of, just because it's had such a big move, and we have got that liquidity sat down here. But again, let's look at our structure in terms of liquidity. So boom, boom, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So liquidity sat here, will be sat here, will be sat here, and will be sat here. No, not sat there. Okay. We'll have break-even points here and break-even points here. Okay. So we're taking out lots of liquidity on the way up. We've now pulled back. We've cleared out all this liquidity, and we'll have a lot of liquidity now sat above. Yeah, so we'll have a lot of liquidity sat above that level here now, especially now we've broken down here. I definitely want to see that level taken out as well, ideally. And the people that have entered from up top here, they will have stop losses. They'll have stop losses there as well. So I think in terms of liquidity, so people that would have been down here, right? Yeah, you know, understand the theory. They'll obviously have moved their stops up. They'll have been mostly taken out now of the marketplace. The only other one we may want to consider is that low there, but I doubt there's very many people that are still with stops above there. We've had obviously a massive move. What caused that? Do we have news?
No, this morning.
Yeah. Oh, it's German bank holiday today. 8:15. Spanish news. Oh, that's a bit concerning actually for Euro. Forecast previous, so PMI previous, we're forecasting lower. Which is manufacturing, isn't it? It's only okay. So we've got all the manufacturing news coming out. Basically, I'm not going to lump into that position. I'll probably just hold it. Germany 40 though. Me on a German bank holiday, and I'm in the DAX. Is that a good idea? Let's see. Oh, realize it's still recording. Right, let's get this up there for the team. Thursday analysis. Right, that's that done. The DAX still looks like a nice trade, to be fair. Especially we've met that EPA now. It does make sense. Euro's moving nice. GJ yesterday was just beautiful, wasn't it? Such a lovely trade. Morning, Chris.
Morning.
You alright?
Yeah, not bad.
Good lad.
I devastated in that EU trade yesterday, huh?
Which, what, the short?
I had a B.
Oh, you had a BE, did you?
Yeah, because I took it at New York, and then I don't often trade New York. And because it had come down to the low, I just went B, and then one candle straight back up.
What, the 2 o'clock pullback?
Aye.
Yeah. Yeah,
Never
it's ruined me.
right.
The setup was there, to be fair. The setup was there at the 10:30 pullback. So the 10:30 pullback, you can see here. So 10, 10, 10:30, it starts pulling back nicely, takes out internal liquidity, creates like a higher time frame MSU as well. So that MSU was created, and then obviously, we pushed down from there. So if you traded the MSU as it's designed, as in you trade the engulfing with a stop above the high, then you'd have been laughing on that one. But yeah, I don't know how I didn't take profit off that yesterday. I think where I was short, and so I think I took so I know what I did. I was short initially from around here, I think, and then I got stopped out, or I saw it pushing up, and then I took the stop. Then I took another short, and then when I started to see it pull back again, I just started. Sometimes you like second guess yourself. I just started kind of second guessing myself, and then I was like, "Oh, is this actually going long?" Blah blah blah. In hindsight, it's such a clear and obvious pattern, isn't it? Like there's no doubt in anyone's mind that is a bearish. I mean, it's the classic BCR setup, right? Build up, consolidation, raid, continuation. So yeah, it's one of them. It is one of them. The long looks alright though for today, as long as the news doesn't screw it too much. We're getting into some nice pressure in. We're in a good area to go long from. So yeah, let's see what we go. I'm just going to pop to the loo, guys. Well, that's a nice little surprise. Popped up a little bit there, didn't it? And Germany 40's moving as well. Good. Oh, so yeah, I mean, look, it really depends on what price wants to do it, doesn't it? Ultimately, you know, we could. The news could screw us completely. I don't think it will. I really like that push down this morning. I really like that kind of that fast price action, that fast liquidity sweep. But we have to remember the fact that we are still overall bearish. I can't. I've not experienced many weeks where we just push in one direction for the entire week. That's all. That being said, Monday did sweep liquidity. Only shitty internal liquidity. Yeah, I don't know at this stage. Look, we're in a positive trade. Is what it is. Let's see if we can get a push out on both of these. Got lots of liquidity coming into the marketplace. GU's making about. Let's have a look at GJ. GJ was so nice yesterday. I'm so upset about that. 10R trade it was. I don't even know how I got stopped on break even as well, because I got stopped out there. How did I get stopped at break even? I think I must have entered a little bit later than that. And then when I I always place my break even slightly above. Little trick for you guys as well, if you're trading your prop firms, right? Always place your break even point slightly above your stop, because then you'll get counted as a win instead of a loss. Do you know that? I've told you that before.
That's what I did on EU yesterday when I had it like slightly below my short entry. That's why I got like spread as well, tagged as out.
The thing is, if you do it bang on break even, like let's say you do it there, right? The spread will tag you out and you'll get counted as a loss, and so it messes up your stats.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do it here, obviously you won't, because it'll be a positive trade ultimately. So yeah, one of them. Right.
Yeah, I need all data for that spreadsheet. I need to start. How do I because you know when you send the link for your spreadsheet, it's got all your information in.
Yeah.
Do I just save my own copy and then?
So make a copy of it.
Yeah, and then save that.
Make a copy of it. Save that copy on your so it's a Google Sheet stock. So you need to save a copy on at your end, basically.
Yeah. And then I did that yesterday. I just didn't want to edit any information in case it affected yours.
Yeah,
and
no,
I was
that's
gonna
fine. Yeah, it won't do because you can't actually edit it. So
Yeah.
it would affect mine. It's not possible.
Cool.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Right.
Like, there's so many trades I go B and they go on to win. Well,
Yeah.
not everyone, but over time.
It will count the spreadsheet though. It counts a break even as a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, as well. Right. Let's have a look at this. So very clear bullish candle yesterday. So we know we're overall bullish. Actually, I haven't done yet. I mean, yeah, okay. And the 4 we've had a 4 EU. I mean, where it goes long to, obviously we don't know. But EU, the long is just it's really really clear now. Got so many reasons now to go long on it. What is that? That's daily open. Yes, and see GU's just got loads of momentum. So there's obviously a lot of weakness in the pound at the moment compared to. Tell you what, let's have a look at.
You use the strong. You're also stronger pair on EG as well.
I was just about to look at that. Yeah. What do I want? I want a new divider. I want a section. How do I do a section? Add. Nope.
I think it's more the weakness in the pound and the strength in the euro.
You think?
Yeah, from what I can see. I'm not sure where the strengths come from the euro.
Am I going mad here? Where's my section tool gone? Add symbol. Remove section. No, I want a new section. Am I going crazy here?
Is it not the 3 dots
No.
in the top right? No.
What? Oh, hang on. No. No.
Oh, you have to click. You see where it says live check
So it says
at the
what?
top left,
Yeah.
where it says live.
Ah, yeah. Right. I've been meaning to do this since the other day, actually. Oh, how do I get rid of that now? There we go. So the one I want to pay attention to is Euro GBP. So pop that in there, and I also want USD JPY. So pop that in there as well. Oh shit, yeah. Right, okay, well that makes sense then. So why is the euro so strong then?
Yeah, on bank holiday, that doesn't make sense.
I know. Or are we going to get absolutely rogered when the news comes in? Because that's what it could be. This could be... No, because usually when these moves happen, they're preempting the news. Usually this is it being priced in already, that the news is positive, and then it will just have a either non-existent or a more positive push. Germany 40 is moving nicely as well. So we've got, to be fair, we've got a couple of nice positions on right now. How I manage them, obviously, we'll see what the news does. Do you know what? I know it's slightly outside of my trading window. I'm starting to enjoy trades before 8 AM now.
Quite a few are coming in recently.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot. You know, you look at, you know, obviously there's classic days, but do you know what I'm finding quite a lot is that Asia will often grab liquidity that we need to fuel then the 8 AM move, and often by the time you get into it, you know, it's often kind of after. So this move down here, for example, that's been generated from an Asian liquidity sweep. So Asia's taken liquidity, and then we've had the creation of the move. So it's definitely one I'm going to make sure that we jump on these sessions kind of 7 AM. I think it's good for us to, you know, well, whoever can make it, obviously, jump on these sessions, kind of talk through ideas and stuff, give you guys an idea of kind of how I'm setting up trades and my thought process as well, and how long I deliberate over actually taking a trade often as well. Right, gold. Let's have a look at gold. So we spoke about gold, didn't we? We spoke about how it doesn't pull back that deep. That's been the exact move. So we had, you know, clearance liquidity. We've kind of got this mucky price action right now, but gold for me again is long. If I wasn't at risk right now, I'd probably be taking another long. No, I wouldn't, because we've only taken Asia low, so it's not the best liquidity. I feel like we might need to come down and take some of this. So we failed to make a new high, which will create a trap. So I think we need to pull back a little bit, take some more liquidity before going higher. So for gold, it's a case of coming down into here or coming down into here before we go higher. Those would be my liquidity points. Significantly, my liquidity down there. That's kind of my major liquidity. But, you know, this is that, again, that perfect example of gold doing what it does. So you have an initial push, it will push down to about 50%, and then it's really, really reactive to that 50% area. I feel like because we failed to make a new high, I feel like we have got a bit of a trap there. And we just got some liquidity being generated right now. So, you know, one of these two areas, that one or potentially that one, that's why I think gold could be coming back to. I'll set an alert down here. Other than that, I don't really want to be taking a trade in this position just off the back of an Asian sweep, even though it does look like it could be okay. I just feel like there's a lot more liquidity sat below there. And potentially down here on the external. You'll notice with gold as well, it really likes external liquidity. Well, every chart does, obviously, but gold in particular, it really likes tricking you into the marketplace, taking some liquidity and then faking you out. That's kind of like gold's MO, is that it's just trapping everyone. It is the most traded asset from what I understand. Certainly the stats that I know from working with various prop firms, it's the most traded asset. And as a result of that, you know, it's often the most manipulated. This section of price action is a good one, I think, for us to dive into. So let's just talk it through, okay? So let's think about where people are going to be placing their stops, okay, and where orders are going to be sat in the marketplace. And when you do that, you can then get a really clear understanding of where the market is likely to head to. This is actually a really good example. This is just, I'm going to give you guys as much kind of insight into the 2025 mentorship, but the way I look at liquidity these days is slightly different to the way I did at the start of 2024. So I'm looking more at kind of like the psychology, the marketplace now, as I feel like for intraday. So obviously you've got algorithms that are on all time frames. You've got algorithms on the minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, hour, day, month, year, okay? And the institutions, what they're ultimately doing is they are, manipulating these areas of liquidity. That's ultimately how it works. From an intraday perspective, mass psychology is really effective at deciding where price is likely to be. So if you look at this section of price, okay, you look at this section of price, and you have this initial first break, you will have some people that will be taking trades from here, right? But a lot of people, especially breakout traders, will be waiting for that level to be broken before they get into the marketplace. So that injects liquidity above places like this, above places like this, okay? And then when you get the new breakdown, you get more liquidity down here, okay? You might get some liquidity down here. But what you need to understand is that as that liquidity moves down and price pushes down, okay, the liquidity comes along with it. So the people that are bought in up here, the likelihood is that they're probably going to be pretty much either break even or they're going to move their liquidity down, okay? People that have sold when that breakout happens, they will have moved their liquidity to the break even points, okay? And so on and so forth, okay? And it's a repeated cycle. So from an intraday perspective, what you can then clearly see, and these guys, when that breakout happens, they'll have maybe move some of it here, move some of it here. So from an intraday perspective, you can start to see where the pockets of liquidity are. So then when you're looking at price, and obviously we would like to have, external liquidity, yes, you might get a few people move their stops down here. You might get these guys move their break evens. These guys move their break evens, maybe a few more stops down here as well. They've been taken out, so maybe there's more entries here. Okay, you build up these pockets of liquidity that price then will come up and will manipulate. So that reaction there, you see that? That's the reaction to the EPA level. That's the break-even points being taken. That's the EPA being created. You've then had another push up to here, okay? You've had more liquidity there that was taken. And then ultimately, the big pocket of liquidity was sat above these levels. And that big move there, that quick move there, that ISC that we're looking for, that is the algorithm coming into the marketplace, or the institutions, whatever way you want to look at it, coming to the marketplace and manipulating the pockets of liquidity that they can see that we can't see ultimately. And that's why then you have the false move, you then have the trap move, and then you get the push down. So if you start looking at liquidity in terms of how a trader would trade it, it's really helpful to understand where price is likely to come back to. And then we can use that theory then obviously in our trading going forward. So then when I'm looking at charts like this, I'm looking at where liquidity is likely to be sat. Well, after these kind of push downs, these last couple of days, I'm getting some pullback now. After these push downs, these last couple of days, liquidity pockets are going to be sat at break-even points. Oh, mosquito flying around. Mosquito in winter? No way. Okay.
Can you break even on your EU trade?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I took a half loss. I closed it early.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I closed early. I sold twice and I closed twice early because I was getting, sometimes you just look at it and you get confused at the price action. And then I think I did. Yeah. I saw that engulfing. I think I took a long there, and then I took a small win off that. And then it was I couldn't quite work out the direction. I basically what I should have done yesterday is I should have stepped away from the charts, marked out my liquidity points, which would have been here and here, and then waited for one of them to go. That's what I should have done. But because I was sat there watching it, I was kind of second guessing myself. So I was right overall with the direction. The long was a short-lived mentality, but that's one of them, frustrating one. Right, 8 o'clock's come in. Let's see if we get a bit of a pullback. And then, so we're going to pull back on both, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Euro GBP still really climbing, which is good. Do I take a second entry on that? Do I take a second entry? That's the question. That is the question, isn't it? Yeah, I think I might. Right, I'm taking a second entry on that pullback. I may pay the price for that, but we'll see. I just like how bullish this is. And the fact that we're pulling back here means that we've got an injection of liquidity on the dollar. We've got a big old stop to play with, so it should be alright. Probably should have waited for an engulfing, to be fair. Just close that second position for now, just because in case it does stop us out. Let's just wait for some confirmation. So what's the dollar up to? Dollar injection of cash. Had a nice move here. 70.40 still moving nicely. Let's wait and see if we can get some sort of return on this. EU still climbing, which is good. Yeah, there we go. I'll take another entry if we can take that level there. Order block there. Oh. Yeah, okay. So hopefully that's just the end of that pullback now. And dollar was just teasing us a little bit. Yeah, nice. Want the news to give us a shift now, don't we, really? It's weak news, which is normally quite good for us. 8:15 Spanish PMI, 7 minutes. Alright, come on. Let's get a bit of a push now, it'd be nice.
I was hoping for the Asia sweep on you, Jay, but
Yeah.
seems to be moving away. like a nice 15-minute range, really. If you take the Asia low.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't trade UJ. It just doesn't like pulling back. It wants
No.
to just go like that, push up, but then it comes back and just moves off without you.
I had a look at that trade yesterday when I said I wanted to see the equal lows on the 5-minute. It didn't even come anywhere close, just rocketed off, didn't it?
Yeah, you got to be quick on it. And it just means you don't get that tight of an entry, which is just frustrating.
Got to be quite risky, haven't you?
Yeah, you do, yeah. Germany 40 is moving nicely. Even if we lose EU, we've got Germany 40 moving nicely. It's not the end of the world. Mm-hmm. 5 minutes to news. I love it when you're waiting for news and then it happens and it's just nothing happens. I feel like we need music for these sessions. Four minutes. I'll put some music on.
If you've been waiting for a sign to try Ready Mag, this is it. This is your sign. Your sign to start creating juicy, interactive.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
You can. Does it sound like
Chill.
Can you hear it like through my speakers, or does it come through as like a stream audio?
I'm not sure. I think it might be through your speakers. Say my internet connection's not very good anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's popping up on the Discord saying the quality's not good. Good sound.
Is that your connection or my connection?
I think it's my connection.
Okay, fine.
Being really slow.
Come on then, EU. In a way, Sam, it's not best for us that is so bullish. Yeah, and we're just about to reach a key liquidity as well. Right, 2 minutes to news. Make or break time. Hopefully make.
God, I ate screw fix in the morning.
You're at Screwfix, are you?
Yeah.
What
Picking
are you getting?
materials up for the day.
What are you getting?
Just a lot of plumbing stuff for a job today. But the amount of people that go at this time is ridiculous.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You've like 2 tills on and everyone's asking about how does this work? How does that work?
How big are the pipe clips? You know these 10mm pipe clips? How big are these 10mm pipe clips? Are they 10mm, mate?
Well, yeah, exactly that. You sound like one of them.
Right, 1 minute. 25 seconds. Relatively good. Oh, there we go. Right, numbers are in then. Come on then. Right, that's a good start. Pending. They're already in, mate. They're well in. You can see them there. Right, dollar's dropping now, which is good. Maybe that's just an initial panic. 57. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's positive. Better than forecast as well. Go on, Spanish people. Do that manufacturing. Oh no.
Have you seen the FX London Summit that's on this Friday?
No.
Or tomorrow, actually, isn't it? Yeah, there's a London Summit on this weekend. Well, tomorrow. I only found out on Monday, to be fair. I actually probably would have made the trip
What's that
down.
about then?
I think it's just where a load of traders meet up and talk through what they do.
Oh, cool. Was it a yearly thing?
I don't think. Well, yeah, it's not sort of a yearly thing. They do them quite like all across the world.
Oh, is
I've
it?
seen them in like Sydney, Dubai, places like that. But this is the first one I've seen in London. But I was listening to that Words of Wisdom last week, and that trader Kane was on it. You know, the guy that got the
Yeah.
million payout.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And he I seen it on his story. He's there on tomorrow.
Oh, is he?
Mm.
London Workshop. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, is it 6
Yesterday.
p.m. maybe?
Yesterday.
Oh, was it yesterday?
Oh no. Oh yeah. Yesterday and tomorrow. FX Summit London. Oh right. Okay. So
Yeah.
is that the same company? FX Summit. Yeah, it is. Oh, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think it's like 6 till 8, is it? And then you need to be a VIP to stay till after 9. Potentially, something like that. Anyway.
Is that where you get like the elite signals?
Yeah. Potentially.
Right, Germany 40 is having trouble. Half an hour for services.
Oh, UJ might be making its way down.
Means the dollar's dropping as well, which is good for our EU trade. what do? Do you do your analysis in the morning, then you kind of keep an eye on your phone?
Yeah. See, that's my problem, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And when I'm working, I started rushing to trades. You know what I mean? So I just need to sort of work that barrier out, to be honest. So it's quite difficult to catch re-entries.
Yeah.
You know, like when I'm working.
You just got to do
Don't catch the initial move.
Really clear analysis first thing. Mark up exactly what you want to trade, exactly how you want to trade, set your alerts. You are going to miss some entries, and you just got to accept that, because it's the nature of the beast. You are just going to miss some, and you will just from time to time, you know, your setups will come, and then there'll be other ones that you just have to miss, because if you can't get to a computer to do your analysis properly, it's just not worth risking it.
Yeah, it's the reason why I don't really trade New York, to be fair. I still look at my phone, but I can't really do my analysis properly on it, you know, between like lunch hour. I'm trying to think of an excuse to tell the wife I need a month off.
Just punch your boss. Just whack, like proper whack him. Oh no, you don't have a boss, do you?
No, I am the boss.
You are the boss. Right, EU's moving nicely. Germany 40 though. You normally rely on you, mate. You're like my consistency, Mr. Consistency, and you're not doing what I want you to. Wait for this Italian PMI, and then I'll probably jump off because I've got a few bits to do today. Hopefully we can get a nice break. Germany 40's coming back. Good. It's big old MSU, that really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tested us today.
UJ's just scratched the Asia low.
What are you thinking? You thinking of going long?
Yeah, off that little sort of 15-minute, 5-minute order block below. Took the sort of range liquidity, I suppose. I mean, after that push down though, I'll need to see some sort of bullish 1 minute.
What's your dollar saying though?
Dollar's pushing down really, isn't it? I mean, it's had a nice wick on the 15 there, on the 5, sorry.
Yeah, I do see what you mean. It's just, yeah.
Come down quite bad.
It's Thursday at the end of the day. Thursday's when we can be taking continuation continuation setups. We have been bullish all week. We have had accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Yeah, so look, it does make sense, mate. It does make sense. Again, it's just, when it's high like this, it's really difficult, isn't it? Because what you want is you want this pattern down here. That's what you want. You want it down here, so you've got somewhere to climb to. But yeah, I completely understand why you would want that trade. It does make sense. What is going on with these then?
Right, I'm gonna shoot, fellas. See you later.
Lads. All right, Sam. Sorry. Yeah, I'll see you soon, man. You take anything, Chris? Chris, you there? Chris? You okay?
I'm just watching Yumi. Yeah, I understand the buy,
Yeah.
logical, but I'd rather just wait for more in it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Same kind. It's very similar to yesterday. really
Yeah.
unsure about where it's going to go, and it's even lower down. So the
The-
buy makes more sense.
The difference yesterday is that our move was above external liquidity. This move has happened below external liquidity.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. But I've taken it. If we were up here, yeah, I wouldn't be in it.
Yeah. No, it makes sense, right? Catch up, even if it is going to go lower, the chances of it pulling back first will
Yeah.
quite high, right? Sweep some more liquidity before continuing, if that's its direction.
Yeah. I don't want to look at this though anymore.
It's horrible when that happens, isn't it? They just stick around your entry.
It's whether or not you close early and take half a loss, or you just wait out. Come on.
I've not even got into that habit yet of closing trades early.
Have you not?
Just take the loss. Nah.
I do it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fall foul to it, but sometimes it saves me. I think if we tag that lower, we probably close this early. Yeah, I'm closing. Right. Journey 40 is being closed. Close. Yeah, close. Oh, that's a shame. I like the look of that, to be fair, as well. I think we may have just had a bit of a weird week where we're just a full bearish week.
Yeah, it's literally just bearish. It's not even like cycles or anything, right? It's just
Yeah,
one
nothing.
big push. High time frame cycle.
Yeah, because look, you had the only thing you had on EU is you had the manipulation on Monday.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine the market being that. But, well, I suppose it's been so bullish for so long, isn't it?
What do you think about like the overall high time frame location on EU? Because it's very much been consolidating, right, for like the past year, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then it's like kind of in, like if you box off that consolidation, it's very much premium. It's took out all the liquidity,
Yeah.
but it has been moving bullish, right?
Well, it's always difficult, isn't it, on the higher time frame? If you look at the weekly, technically structure is overall bearish, but we were talking about this the other day, weren't we? We're in that dead zone right now.
Yeah.
Right in that difficult
It's
position.
been there for a long time.
Yeah, and it has. It's been there since, yeah, you're right, 2023. So that's why I can't take it with a pinch of salt. I'm just like, I'll consider it, but intraday I'm not too fussed because
it doesn't really affect your intraday trading too much, right? The high
for me,
narrative.
the previous day is important to me.
Yeah.
The previous day certainly. And just overall kind of liquidity and price action. What's the likely next move? Where is the liquidity? Where is the? Look at this chart right now. Where is the most logical liquidity points? Well, the most logical liquidity points are above these highs, right? Where people have placed their stops, moved to break even, that sort of thing. So, gold's just tagged. So yeah, I just think if we were going to get pushed higher now, we would have had it right now. Oh, look at that. Of course that was going to happen. Stand there. I don't know whether to cut my losses and just wait for later. Let's see if we get some direction after New York. I'll have to hold it. Do we need the dollar to start pushing? The dollar's taken out loads of liquidity as well, like all week. It's taken out weekly.
If you zoom out too, right close to that other, it's a monthly high, that red line you've got on.
Yeah, it is, you're right.
Yeah,
so we've got monthly high, and we've also got this month's high as well, which will carry some significance. Yeah, so we've just basically printed a new high yesterday. So it makes sense for a pullback, taking out a weekly level, printed a new high. makes sense for a pullback, at least to clear some of this liquidity, you know, not just, yeah, I find it amazing that it's just pushing off the back of such a bullish week. Like, you know, you'd at least have some sort of correction to down here, like maybe down here, potentially there, if not down here, if not down here, you know, and then that will fuel the move to go higher. Look, we might get that still. It might, look, at the end of the day, it's not pushing higher, right? It's not pushing higher, it's not pushing lower. We're stuck. Price is stuck. And, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing for us. It means that nobody's winning right now, so liquidity is being built up, and we're waiting for that to break on one side or the other. Right now, we've taken external liquidity on the sell side, and we've had a bullish push. So this is, right now, it's a bullish setup. We haven't had any liquidity taken other than internal Asia liquidity on the buy side. So it doesn't make sense. In fact, yeah, it doesn't make sense for this to go short from here. The only difference is that we haven't had that bearish push like we've had the bullish push. That's the only difference. I bet this is going to run now, isn't it? It's a big MSU. London though, again, looks like it's going to be pretty wacky.
Yesterday was a bit frustrating, really.
Yeah, it was naff, isn't it?
Testing your patience.
Yeah. But look, you can have them at the end of the day. You can have losing weeks. We had a great week last week. We had a great week last week. It's not always going to be, you know, perfect. You're not always going to get it right. Most important thing in these moments is that you don't over leverage, you don't revenge trade, you don't take positions you shouldn't be taking. You know, I'm looking at Germany 40 now, being like, oh, should I jump back in? But I know that I'm doing that out of revenge of taking a half. You know?
Yeah.
So
I've been there, done that.
Yeah, exactly.
Same, it's like I would normally like try force a trade every session basically, and then if it played out, it played out. But as I developed, you just learn a bit more patience and
definitely. You know,
wait for your setup, right?
I've got the battle scars and 30 failed prop firm challenges under my belt for that, you know.
I still get like the feeling of FOMO, I guess, right? If you're like not sure, you're like, oh, well, this could be the one.
You never get rid of it. It's always
no.
There. I think what you'll do eventually is you'll just be so confident in your setup. So for me, for example, I never really understood it. I have one main trading session, which is London. I'm looking for one main entry, which is ISC MSU, and I'm looking to manipulate liquidity. And that now is my go-to setup. I'm trading New York now less and less, partly because I'm busy, partly because, you know, I normally can get my setup in London. What I've started doing now, which is maybe a little bit different to what I was doing maybe 6 months ago, is I've started now kind of keeping an eye on a few more pairs. Because I'm just trading one session, I can do that. I have my go-to, which is kind of like EU and Germany 40, and those are my go-to. But then I'll use GU as a confluence, and I will keep an eye on gold as well. But I don't trade gold that much, just because it's much more difficult to trade. It's not as clean. But those are kind of the three pairs now, whereas before I just traded EU, but then I was looking for positions all the time. Now,
that's
actually
kind of the position I'm in.
Say again?
I said that's kind of the position I'm in, just trading the one pair. You're always kind of looking for that move, right?
Maybe add one other in, so you've got a couple to look at, and then instead of trying to force a trade on one pair, instead what you can do is you can see which of those pairs provide you with the best setup. Try and keep them as separate from each other as possible. Like EU and GU, I wouldn't say is the most sensible pairs to trade. Rarely, I will trade GU. Really rarely, because the setup's just too clean to ignore. But for me now, EU's there, GU is just a confluence. So I'm looking at what GU is doing, and I'm seeing if, like, for example, this is a good example. So I've got here, there, and I've got here, there. So I've got divergence. I've got divergence now on EU, GU. and I've got equal highs on DXY, which isn't great to be fair. But you know, I'm using that as a divergence. I'm not having GU there so I can trade it necessarily. I'm having it there just as a confluence for me. I can show that there's strength on here. Euro GBP shows me that as well. I look at that from time to time. That shows me that there's strength on the euro right now. So you know, it then adds in those extra confluences for me taking that long ultimately.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I tried like watching the Doxy, tried to like compare with the EU and
Well, the DXY.
yeah.
Yeah.
I call it Doxy, innit? Dixie Doxy.
Yeah. I'm always on that. Always on that.
Yeah.
And that really kind of will often signal me into a trade. Like if I've got key liquidity on Euro USD taken, but I haven't taken it on the DXY, I won't take the trade. I'll wait until the DXY catches up. For me, really, I need the DXY doing the same as what Euro USD is. I need them both doing the same. I need them both to have taken liquidity. Like in this example, both taking liquidity. I need them both to be breaking down. You know, and in hindsight, although we are building a bit of trendline liquidity here as well, aren't we? We're building up liquidity now.
Yeah, slower pullback.
Which is not bad for us. That's good for us, definitely. And we've got news coming in 5 minutes. I'm going to watch this news and then I'm going to have to shoot, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no problem.
Trading's so boring, isn't it, at times? So
Aye.
unglamorous.
I especially when you're not in an early position, it gets more frustrating towards the end.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't going to happen.
Shut that sunshine out. Far too bright. Yeah, Germany 40, good job I closed it.
Sweet.
Right. Gold's pulling back. Come on, dollar. That's not good. Oh, I might have a losing day today, which would be a shame. Or a losing morning at least.
It's going to be one of them weeks in it where you're like, oh, I wish I just sold on Monday and held it for the whole move. Too late.
Yeah, sound like 20% rolling. I can't do that though. As soon as I see like 2-3%, I've got to take most of that off.
Yeah. Well, I took that short on Tuesday, didn't I? And then it took what was like the previous daily low.
Yeah.
And then I partialed it, and then
Yeah,
I've got a small runner on it, but it's not.
That was the trade of the week for me. That was such a beautiful move.
Yeah. Similar to yesterday, right? It's just higher up, so in my mind, it's higher probability trading to go lower.
Yeah, I think just. Yeah, I'm closing EU.
I'll press buy when you close them, huh?
Yeah, I think we're just in for a short week. I mean, Thursday is continuation day, right? So we've had a pullback. It was the smart trade this morning. I mean, look, the problem is that I don't really see that as any kind of major liquidity. It's like, how do you get involved on that, right? Same with this. But then often when the market is so bearish like this, it's difficult to get into these trades, right?
Yeah. Well, I was saying to myself, if I was going to sell it today, I'd want it to pull up kind of higher and get a more safer stop location.
Definitely. So exactly.
Rather
So that
than
was kind of my
putting it so
thinking.
low
Is that
down.
we come back up, we take some of this external liquidity out, and then see, we might be able to get a short setup out of it. Sometimes we've got to change our bias, right? We might be able to get a short setup like this. If we get pullback on Germany 40 now, we might be able to get a short setup. Everything's just so bearish. Germany 40 is dropping. Bad news as well. Yeah, I think that was the trade today. But again, it's like, what trade is it? It's a risky entry, if anything.
Yeah, it's like if you took 10 of those trades on EU, how many are actually going to play out, right?
Right.
The short version.
Yeah, even if you caught it a little bit high, you might be better off. Yeah, risky. Bad numbers for the Italians as well. Well, rubbish way to end the session. 2 are down. Well, one 0 point. So 3/4.5. So 1.25 down. It's not the best way to start the day. We'll see if we can get something later today, and we'll go from there. Really. Cheers for jumping on, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.